I'm not exactly sure. There we go. Hi everybody. I don't think anybody's going to be watching this. I told Dee I was going to go live, but she's probably doing stuff. It's 11 something at night. Right there is where my kayak was when I went out tonight. When I came home, my kayak and a 6-inch piece of PVC pipe is leaning up against my house with a little stick leaned up against the kayak. I don't really understand what's going on. There's somebody. Hi, Lisa Ann. I just was saying that kayak, when I went out tonight, before, a few hours ago, was laying right there next to the light post. The light was not on at the time. And when I came home, my kayak is leaning up against my house with a 6-inch piece of PVC and a small stick against the kayak. Hi, Gordon. But the kayak was over there, now leaned against my house. There's a 6-inch piece of PVC pipe, which was over here, around the side of my shed. Let me see here. The only thing I have is my power bank. It's got lights on it, but the PVC pipe was over there in the corner. I did notice the other day that they came up close to the house and left a stick leaned next to my shed, which is right next to my house. So the object here, because I sent all my lights to Dee when she got hers stolen the same day I went to the post office and sent her all of my personal lights. So all I have is the lights that are on my power bank. I'm a little out of breath because I was kind of shocked to find that leaned against my house. But I have this light that's on my power bank and a small flashlight that's in my pocket. But I figured I would walk through the nursery back here and see. To walk around the back of this too, I guess. It's my other shed. Same as the other one, except the other one has the roll-up garage door on it. Nothing around this side. And nothing looks different back here. So I'm going to walk. And you're probably not going to see much until I get closer to the trees. Oh, there we go. See that white thing? That is a skunk with a pure white tail. Hi, skunker. They tend to come around my house. Yeah, it's mostly white, but he's black on the bottom. Hey, beautiful. Don't spray my dogs. And of course, you're going right in the woods, right where I'm going to go. Probably going to walk right in there. Hey, skunker. It's all right. Don't worry. I'm not after you. Oh my goodness. I'll give him a little while to get in there. But this is the swamp. That's the entrance to the nursery. I have to ring the bell. Tell them I'm coming. Kyle, I'm coming in. I want to know why you did that. And you can see my house in the distance. I'm not going to zoom in, but my house is 98 yards from where I'm standing right now. There we go. Hopefully that skunk is out of the way. All right, so This power pack is too heavy for me to have it in the same hand that the phone is, so hopefully I won't suck too much on the camera work. And I know there's a skunk back here, so any leaf sound that doesn't sound like big footsteps is gonna get ignored. And this this power pack light really only shines about 20 yards maximum. So this live is gonna suck. Can't help it. I gave D all my lights and I haven't replaced them yet. I'm actually working on my house to move to Maine, so I haven't done very many anything this year looking for them. But if they're going to come to the house, I guess I'm going to have to come out here. Kyle! Whoop! Answer me, right? I just lost. Trying to walk nice and slow. Boy, it's cold out here. Didn't hold this one. Oh, it told me I'm lies again. It kicked me out again. Yeah, am I looking for them? Weeks ago, this day. That's brand new. I don't know why it's just glitching for you guys or not. This is, I call this the nursery because there's all these small little stick structures in the base of the trees, like baby ones are learning how to lean stuff. And then last year they got bigger and bigger and bigger, like all of this stuff here, until they finally got to be 15 feet long. And then I got no activity for the whole winter. They either migrate or hibernate or go back to their own dimension or do whatever they're going to do. I don't know if you guys have watched my other videos, but there's so much back here of things leaned, little stuff, big stuff. There's thousands of leaned sticks back here, and they're all small, 6, 8, 10 feet long. But they started out to be a foot long when I noticed them. Kyle! Whoop, whoop, whoop. I have heard things in the past. And I've caught things, but only in the video. I've never actually seen anything. They did mess with my head once last year. I heard 2 little whoops, and I went off in that direction. But I ended up way the hell down there when I thought I was way up there. And like D, for a second, I freaked out, but I didn't panic. I knew where I was immediately when I came out of it. But I was in the wrong end of the woods by far. And they somehow, and I was doing fine. I thought I was fine. But I thought I was going in a totally different direction than I was. When I came out of it, I was shocked. And I'm sorry if you're typing things. I don't look at the phone very often. And when you type something, it only shows up and stays there for 4 or 5 seconds. And then it fades away. Sometimes I can catch what you write, but sometimes I miss it. So they actually leaned junk up against my house. So now I'm out here seeing if they want to be social. I have no idea what it meant. We're out here and stay the hell out of our stuff. I don't know. Could literally be anything. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It rained all day and now it's cold. My fingers are cold. I know this power bank is not going to run out of energy. 96% still. But the lights that I have to use on the power bank are just emergency lights for whatever you might need. And this one's new too. I'm off the trail a little bit, but that stick right there doesn't have any leaves over the top of the bottom of it, and it hasn't been there very long. I don't remember that stick. There is a Y stick that I don't remember. Comes on the ground, it's bent, and a Y stick is up against those two. There's a stick upside down, woven in. Oh, I don't think, as far as a threat goes, I think at first they probably saw me as a threat because I used to hunt back here, bow hunt and gun hunt. And when I first came out looking for them, I carried friends with me. Kimber and his 845s, but I no longer carry anything out here. Number one, it's close enough where if they wanted me, all they'd have to do is stand still behind any of these bigger trees, and in 2 steps they'd have me, and I would never get anything out to protect myself. I wouldn't even have time to drop the phone probably if they really wanted me. See, there's some other sticks. And they would never have brought their babies in here last year if they thought that I was a threat living right next to them. But I kind of thought that this summer I didn't really want to get them used to humans, especially trying to get used to humans that may live in my house, since next year I'm going to move to Maine. So as soon as I retire, I'm out of New York. And there's not a lot of reports of Bigfoot in Maine. Kyle! Stupid hunter tax. I bitch about him every time I come back here, but I don't know if you can see him or not, but right in the middle there's a tack in a tree that looks like an eyeball far away. It's not, it's just a shiny tack that hunters can shine their light and see the path. This is only a tiny little stretch of woods. I don't know why you would need to put something. See, there's a big lean tree at the end of last year. There's stuck in the tree, the top stuck in there, all woven in with another piece. There's a piece on top of another piece. These things are back here. There's thousands of leaned sticks. The woods around here have lean things, but they are tree-sized ones. They are not little like this. This is why I think there's babies back here. And like I said, a couple weeks ago, I started to find the fresh signs of the little tiny ones again. which kind of made me rethink my idea that they hibernate, because things that hibernate actually have babies at the end of winter while they're still hibernating, and the babies grow up so that they can survive the cold. They can be big enough to survive the cold. See how small that stick is? Maybe 2.5 feet long, approaching 3 feet long maybe. While this one here is about 10 feet long. They started with the small ones again. Kyle, I know I'm talking to people. You think I'm talking to people, but I'm by myself. You know me, and I know you're sitting out there looking at me because you were here in the last 3 hours, because I was only gone for 3 hours. Where'd you go? Were you saying hi? I thought I saw something black right between those two big trees right in there. I can't see it with my eyeballs, but I can see it on the phone. I just heard a crunch back that way, but I do know that there's at least a skunk back here. Kyle! Rover! Rover's what I call the DMs, by the way. I don't care which one of them I see. They haven't attacked me in 60 videos. They're not going to attack me now unless they're different ones or got rabies or something. There's nothing I can do gun-wise. I have bigger ones that could definitely affect them, but there's no reason for me to carry it out here, because then I will never get to see them. Anybody up in the tree? Now these trees, when I walk through them, they're big enough for them to sit up in there. I'm in some great big hemlocks. Big maples. That one right there is a big brown birch. Now I can see better with my eyes than the phone is seeing with the light. I'm almost to where I'm going to take a seat and try to talk to them a little bit. If you watch my other videos, you'll know that I'm almost around to where the first tree I noticed, why I started thinking there were Bigfoot back here. 30-foot pine tree that got bent down, almost parallel to the ground. No reason I could understand why it would be like that. But I'm going to sit on this big dead tree over here, which is way out in the swamp, but about halfway through the nursery woods, but almost as far as my trail goes. Now my trail turns right, goes right between there. A little further, turns right and goes over that way. So this is about as far as my trail gets. Raccoon poop. So I'm not going to sit there. There's a couple other trees here. Kyle! I know you're in here. Yup. I know you're in here. I know I haven't played a video of D in a long time. And today I just wanted to come out and see if we're going to come out, because sit on this log. Probably gonna fall on my ass. Exactly like I did. So now I'm sitting on the ground. All right. Man, this thing's heavy. All right. So now that I'm sitting on the ground, I can put my right hand in my pocket a little bit. All right. There we go. Kyle! See if doing with my left hand what I usually do. I usually hold the phone in my left hand in a holder, but I've sent the holder to D, and the holder holds my wide angle light that doesn't shine far enough, which is why she hates them when she's out in the middle of the open field. They don't shine far enough away to see anything. But when you're in the woods, they're very bright. And I sent her the little spotlight that she likes. I had one exactly like hers. And she has my 4K slide king. That's very bright. But I sent her all my lights. Kyle, make a noise. Go whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, whoop. Kyle. I don't know why I yell. He's not far enough away from me for I have to yell. He can hear me talking normal like you can. Kyle, come on. Come out of the swamp. You can do it. I'm sitting down. I don't have a gun. I'm not going to chase you. I just want to see you. I just pointed you to where I can't even see. I'm sitting down here. Holy smokes, it's cold. And this light is heavy. Okay. Whoop. Whoop. Hey, Kyle. Come on, buddy. Let me see your kids. I know you have babies. I know you have babies, little babies. I want to see them. I want to say hi. I wish you could tell me why you put my kayak and stuff up against the house. I don't understand. What's all that about? Here I am looking down here. Got the phone pointed down to where I think the babies are going to be, but if they're males or mamas, they're going to be way the hell up in here when I see their eyes. If I never see anything until I go through the video real slow. Come on, buddy. Bring me your babies. I just want to see them. And if it's not Bigfoot and it's the little people that are actually in these woods, and that's why I think it's a nursery. If it's the little people, let me see you. Which would be a bad idea. There is no culture that thinks that the fairy, the fae, and the small folk are good omens. Not one. But if you're the little people, let me see you. Whatever's putting the sticks up against the trees, I want to see. Okay. I'm going to shut the light off. It's all dark. There. Now this light is just an LED panel on the side of my happy thing here. It's an LED panel. So I'm guessing maybe able to see a little bit. If I back off a little more, there we go. Put the light far enough away. There we go. Now it's not shining on the lens. So you can see a little bit as I pan around. I'm going to attempt now, if I lay down, look behind me, don't see anything moving. Oh goodness. I have no idea how long my little light, this is my backup to the back. My little, it doesn't zoom in any farther than this. Doesn't see really far, but it sees a lot better than the other one. Now I have the phone in my left hand. Let me get it to the edge here so I can still see whatever you type, if you type anything. All right. Haven't heard any noises. Kyle! Whoop! And I can't whistle. So if you see it, if you hear a good loud whistle, it was not me. Kyle, make a noise. Trying not to breathe when the phone is pointed in this direction, because it's all foggy. Kyle! Hey, buddy! Make a noise! Oh, fuck. Did you hear that? I got 3 people in here. Let's see. Let's not be sitting on the ground when we hear a howl. Whoop! Howl number 2. They didn't come from this direction. They came from the other way. But I tend to sit here because it's relatively open and I can see for a long ways. And I've said it before, I am just as open to seeing a DM as I am a Bigfoot. I really don't want to see something like a crawler or a creeper. I wouldn't, just like everybody else, I would not even know if I saw a skinwalker because they generally look like regular animals. They don't tend to do the werewolf half animal, half person thing much. That's a Wendigo trait. And there's nothing, if I was out here by myself, pew pew or not, there would be no stopping a Wendigo. But they generally lure you in. Like Dee's been having something in the woods over there by the barn saying, help me, come here, and all that. No, don't do that. Don't ever do that. You yell back and ask them if you want you to call 911 and things like that, but don't go over there. If they only know the words help me or come here or please help or anything like that, if they can't articulate full sentences, don't go there. I have no idea how much charge this little light has because I did not expect to come out. I just came home and found that stupid kayak up against the house, and now I had to come out here for however long I could. There were two high-pitched, kind of long howls about 2 or 3 minutes ago. But in that direction, I have walked out there on a couple of my videos, but there's a big open field and a corner that comes around. They were up in the corner of that open field, which is almost half a mile from here, but there's a swamp in a way, which would not stop them at all. They don't think anything about stepping through a couple of feet of water. Especially as dry as it's been this summer. It's probably only 6 inches of water out in the middle. Right out there. You see that kind of like A-shaped thing right there? You see that blob blocking out the bottom of that tree? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go over there and see what that is. Don't take my eyes off it. Don't take my eyes off it. Probably gonna trip and fall on my face. Okay, I can already tell. See that? See that tree? That little stick leaned up against there? It's moss on the bottom of the tree, making it look like that, wet moss. Whoop! Now you can see back towards my light. You can see how flimsy that light is. It doesn't see very far. Whoop whoop! It's kind of funny. I tried to sit on that when it was up in the air, and of course it just flipped over and sat me on the ground right there. All right. Let's do this. Off. So we will hold happy camera and happy big light in the left hand and my other light in the right hand. Let's see how good that works. Have not seen any eye shine, haven't heard anything other than a couple of howls. This right here is as far as my trail goes back here. This is an old Jeep trail slow pan. This is this is like insane compared to my lights that I sent D. This is nothing compared to those lights. The light I have in my hand is only 1500 lumens max, which means it's zoomed out as far as it can be. Like now is only 1500 lumens. My Slide King 4K was 4000 lumens before I zoom it in, which means it's 12,000 lumens at the other end when I zoom it all the way in. This one's nothing comparatively. And the LED lights on this thing here, should I turn these back on? Hold it the other way so you can at least see something close up. Oops, somebody wrote something. Nothing new. Let me see if I can get this back in my pinky like I had it before. Here we go. Youch, not a pinky. 2 fingers. How the heck did I have this before? Numbers still going? Yep. Everybody's still there? Yep. Okay. So now, just in case I don't shine my light where you're looking, you can at least see 20 feet. And with the leaves so wet, and you can hear the drips of the water falling off the leaves, it's not actually raining now, but it was raining all day. With the leaves being wet, they can walk right up on me before I ever hear them, unless they on purposely snap a stick. Kyle! I'm going to come a little further this way off my trail. I know you hate when I do that. Right in here is where I was when I snapped out of when they messed with my head. And I instantly know where I am because there's all these paper birch, brown birch paper bark birches. I'll get a little closer so you can see. You know, it kind of looks like they have brown paper on them. We used to call them fire starter birches when we were young. I grew up in the woods, so learned all kinds of woodcraft things. Always been intrigued by Bigfoot and scared to death of werewolves. But now that I know that dogmen come with Bigfoot, if you have Bigfoot, you have dogman, period. There's no separation between the two. They're together everywhere. If there's either one, they're both there. I don't think that they're always enemies. See a little X right there with the little trees? Right there. It's either an X or an A. They make it A's a lot. Instead of a traditional X, they make A shapes like triangles a lot. I don't know what that's for. Kyle! You knew I was going to come out here. There's no way you didn't think I was going to come out here if you did that. Where are you? I'm going to do something weird like that and then snub me. Little son of a bitch. Kyle! It is cold. Tell you what. All right. I'm not going to give him a million years. I like doing lives better because I'm not actually using up any of the gigs on my phone. I was out for a few hours with my friends playing Dungeons and Dragons. I like to use my brain once in a while. A couple hours every other week or so. And I came home and my kayak's against my house. And there's a new lean right there. This right here is my first tree. See this tree on the ground right here? Or next to the ground right here? Now something pushed that 4-inch pine tree, 30 feet long, down to the ground hard enough to make it stay there, and nothing had fallen on it. No other tree, no nothing. I'm like, man, it looks like a car ran that thing over. And the only thing I could think of was Bigfoot. And then a little while later, all these sticks. Why are all these sticks leaned up in everywhere? They're everywhere. Especially right in here. There's sticks leaned, sticks woven in. One of the first things I noticed was they built a teepee right here. Whoop, hey. See this short stick right here? That's brand new, right there. They built a teepee here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they put a short stick right here. But the back one, that one right there, they leaned against another tree, which is now partially bent the other way. That one, oops, let me show you. That one right there, the smaller one, was actually up here with these, was actually leaning right there, and now it's leaning over there, and now there's a smaller stick leaned right there. So they changed that. They also changed, when I talk about the no-no woods, they had a giant structure that they made in the no-no woods. They tore it down and built another one about a half a mile, maybe about a half a mile away, out towards the bunkers further. And that looks like an X, but it's not. There's 20 feet between that leaned and this leaned here. But there you can see there's leaned everywhere. But when I first started looking at the other end of this tree here, my first tree, like, look at this. Try and tell me that something that intricate with that many little sticks woven in like that happened through gravity and wind. No. Something sat there a long time and made that thing. In fact, they've actually added to it recently a little bit. And there was another one over here that they let fall down, made later with bigger sticks. But you see how these sticks are leaned and woven in, holding each other against the tree? Part of it fell down a little bit, but last winter this was a more intricate thing, but the winter took some of it down. But it's all little tiny stuff. There aren't. And last year that ended up being stuff that were 15, 20 feet long. But still small comparatively. Every place else around here, pull my pants back up. Don't have a belt on. All right. Every place else around here, like I said, has these great big trees. 50, 75, 100 feet long, weighing a couple tons, that are actually leaned and made into... Oops, dropping my phone. made into some pretty unique things. Very quiet out here. Now, that tree actually broke off up there. Right up there. You see that break? And you see that right there with that right there? That's where that came from. It broke, somehow got down through that mess there, ended up point down there, broke in half. You can see that other one. So I can't really blame that on them. But I blame all the rest of these little ones. See that? Up and up and up and up and this, these up and it's like there's just literally thousands. This one has these little sticks leaned up in it all the way around it. Now you can see the teepee better from this angle. See those three? But the third one is not leaned where it was before. So that was manipulated a little bit. That's cool. Since the last time I've been out here. Now, I haven't been out here in a while. You know, number one, like I said, I'm trying to get them so that they're not used to humans as much. Last year I came out here every single day. During the day, during the night. Because I was pretty intrigued in what they were doing with leaning all these sticks. Coming out to see what they did new or whatever they were doing. But I haven't been out here in a while. That one's new, but that could have fell from somewhere. And that one's brand new. Now you see, you'd think that this is normal until you get up here and see that there's a cross stick. See the cross one? Leaning up against it. That, and there's nothing up above it for it to come from. And nothing up there big enough for that to be part of. That was placed. Kyle! I know I never see anything or hear anything over in this side. Which is why I usually stay in the hemlocks, the big hemlocks on the other side. I usually hear things from either across the swamp or in the swamp. One of my first videos, I noticed that all of these sticks, or all these logs actually, were broken off at different times, but all of them point to that one place where that tree has been leaned up on that log, on that stump. And they're all pointing in the same direction out that way. And I've been over on the other side where that's pointing and I found dogmen. Or at least that's all of the things I found. Tracks, dogman tracks and scratches on trees. But very few leaned sticks or anything to let me think that Bigfoot hangs out on the other side of the street over there. I know I started this video, you know, so you can obviously tell by where I went. I'm half a mile at the point of my curve back there at the end of my path. As far as it gets into the woods, it's about a half a mile from my house. So I could yell as loud as I want to pretty much right here and nobody's going to hear me. And I don't know too many people, except maybe Dee. And Dee does not like walking through just woods like this very often. She doesn't like paths that are close. She likes to be able to see, of course. Don't blame her at all, but I don't have that fear. I want to go over here and see if they've done anything more to the biggest oak tree that's out here. It's on the other corner of my happy path here. Last year, what the hell? They messed with this too. A bunch. Now, one of my last videos, I showed that they put that thing there in that little crotch of those bigger trees, put it across there against that tree, and then held it up with a crotch that came down here. That takes intelligence. That's not gravity. I don't feel like I'm alone, but I can't hear or see anything. That's broken, but that wasn't there before. That could have fell. This thing over my head was not here before. Did that thing fall on that thing that was growing? Okay, that was growing out of there. And now they've placed a stick up there, and this on top of it to try to force that. You see they put it in the other tree over there. They're forcing this thing like an arch over the top of my trail. That was not there before the last time I came out. Plus there's two bigger sticks right here and an X. I think only one of them was there before. And at first you could see all the ones that are on the ground there. At first it looked like a baby Sasquatch tried to make like a hide of some kind, so it could hide there. But that was quite the failure. And a couple months ago I came out here and found this one leaned up against the oak tree. Ooh, that thing is heavy. Okay, let's do it this way for a minute. Ow. My fingers. Owie, owie. I know you guys are just hearing me drone on, but I'm just walking around this path to see if they're going to interact with me after putting my kayak up against my house. Doesn't look like they're going to. Trying to figure out what's new back here. Haven't been out here in a month. But I used to give them apples, and then I was giving them pretty rocks, and I was doing all kinds of stuff. Then I made up my mind I was going to move to Maine, and I stopped doing it. Did not want them to get used to humans. And I started videotaping because I could do something like this and point. I could point one light this way, like that, but I could point the other light the other way and look different. So I could be, and then I would go back and look at the video because I'm not always pointing the camera where I'm looking. But ever since I got followers and I want other people to watch too, now I try to point the camera the same place that my big light is pointing so that you can see what I see, but then I point at the ground because I'm not looking at the camera. I try to hold everything straight forward and move my whole body now rather than flailing my arms around so I can see the close distance with the big light and then the far away distance with my spotlight. I don't know if you can see any of them, but there's some stupid tacks all out through here. One right there on that tree. Well, I didn't get sprayed by the skunk. That was a good thing. Well, apparently, leaning my kayak and a piece of PVC pipe up against my house does not mean come out into the nursery because we want to show you my babies or anything like that. I was hoping, though, because if I actually see one, whether it be a Bigfoot or a dog man, either one, if I actually see one with my eyes, then I'll have proved the whole cryptid thing to myself, because that's what I'm out here to do. I'm not trying to prove it to you, I'm trying to prove it to me. Because even though I see all of this sign, it's almost impossible to tell what's actually doing it unless you see it. I can summarize that it's Bigfoot, but there's no actual proof. I would like to know what could do that or what would do that. It's just so cool. It's so cool to know for a fact that there's no way that all of these sticks are leaned up against other trees and woven in and things so intricately where you walk around woods that you see and you don't see any of that stuff. You know, if it's natural, that would be everywhere. But it is only in the nursery with these little sticks around here. The sticks leaned like that one there. All these little sticks leaned perfectly up against the trees. They would be everywhere in everybody's woods, but there's just so many little sticks leaned against in the crotches of everything. Let's see if they come over here a little bit. See if they did anything to the bone pile. Oh. There were okay, there's one. Okay, they're all here, I guess. Okay, my fingers are so... Okay, get right side up. You guys still going? Holy cow. Anyway, I dropped my light on the ground. Pick that back up. I dropped my phone. I dropped my light. Okay. Now, that one's almost too bright to see. That right there is a deer skull. You can see the teeth. And there's one long bone, two long bones, and then a piece of a hip bone. Well, I had the two pieces of long bone through the hole of the hip bone, acting as a stand to put underneath the orbital bones of these, the eyeballs of this little buck that was, and had it like skull and crossbones sitting up in the air. And that's all kicked flat now. They usually just kick over the skull, or something messes with the skull, but they're so old that there's no marrow. Sorry, I just had to look around. Now I'll look at the phone a little bit. There we go. Let me shut off this big light. Oh, flash in my face. That's nice. Now I can't see shit. All right. There. I have it backwards. There we go. There. Now I have the phone in my left hand and both lights in my other hand, and my pants are falling down again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I don't see any eye shine. I haven't heard anything. Why did they lean my kayak up against my house? Why did they do that? Kyle, you know this is me. And I don't know why I'm yelling, because I know you can hear me. You got to be right here. Show me your babies. Bring them out. See, I don't have a gun. See? Me? I don't have a gun anywhere. Probably get kicked off of YouTube for saying the GUN word. I don't have anything on me. I just want to see you. And then I'll go in and I'll go to sleep, cry a little bit, and then I won't come back out here at night because I won't have to. Are you guys upside down? Did you see that? The orientation of my phone changed for no reason. And it was upside down. That was weird. Now I tried a new technique, and you guys can tell me. I guess there's still 4 of you on. Have I glitched out at all? Is my phone lost? I don't know if I have lost any pixelization or lost any of the coverage yet. But I turned my phone's video down to 480p, the smallest it could go. So it was trying to send the least amount of information across off to the tower. And that seems to have stopped my problem with lives of it glitching. Man, I'm afraid that I'm going to walk into that stupid skunk. I'm not afraid of Bigfoot at all. I'm going to walk into that skunk. So when I watch this back, I guess, I know I have 4 people on here, but they don't really, I don't know if you guys are actually watching it or if you're just playing the game and have me hooked to your phone so that I have viewers, somebody to talk to. But if you do tend to want to do this and you come out here the first couple times, you won't be able to go live on YouTube until you get enough subscribers and enough view time. You won't be able to go live. But when you're doing a video, be it for yourself or other people to upload it to, when you're out here talking, most of your fear goes away because your brain, I guess, tells you that there's other people with you. And I guess that's most of how D keeps from being scared. I'm not scared, you're scared. She's talking to us like we're there, and it kind of fools you into thinking that you have security, but you don't. Go walk right out here and stomp on me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Not one little thing. But I persistently come out here alone, unarmed, except for my 2 little arms. And I guess even if I was Bigfoot size, I wouldn't want to get whomped over the head with the power pack that I have in my hand. if I could even reach that high. Kyle, I'm getting ready to leave. You want to show me your babies? Come on, buddy. I have no idea. I thought maybe they would show themselves, or maybe they were mad at me, or saying goodbye or hello, or because I don't see any sign. There's no footprints in the snow or anything, because last year we had snow for 3 straight months. It never melted, and there was never any footprints in the snow. I did a couple of videos where I walked through 18 inches of snow walking around to see if I could find anything, any sign of them being here in the wintertime. And I found none, which led me to believe that they migrate or hibernate. But this year, very late in the season, there's very little sticks, little tiny sticks up against the trees again, like there was in the beginning of the summer last year. So that led me to believe that they just had a baby, which leads me to believe that they now migrate, not hibernate. And they built a hide right there. You see all them sticks and stuff, where they could stand between those 3 big trees, and it'd be just broken up enough where there's no way you would see them in there. So I thought maybe they just sit a baby down in there and leave it there and tell it to stay there for a while they go out in the swamp looking for frogs to eat or whatever they do. But I got no interaction and 2 howls, which were high-pitched and could have actually been coyotes out in the big open field across the swamp. I'm going to watch this back, see if I can see anything that the phone caught and my eyeballs did not. Nothing out in this open field I can see. Ring the bell, tell them I'm out. I'm out, Kyle. It's all yours. I do that every time I go in and every time I leave. Just courtesy, I guess. Let them know it's me in there. All right. You can see from here that the kayak is still there. I thought maybe if I went in there, they would sneak up to my house and take the kayak down. They did not. That would freak me out if they put it back to where it was. I would think I was going crazy if I didn't videotape it. And I live by myself. Wife number 2 moved out about 1.5 years ago. We're still friends and everything, but better off in not living with each other. So we ended it before it became too bad. But now I'm 61, about to be 62, and I don't want New York State to have my retirement money. Little taxing bastards. So I'm moving to Maine, upstate Maine, which is unfortunately another red state. But they have a lot more of a neutral stance on everything. The taxes aren't so bad. They didn't raise the minimum wage so high that people that are on a fixed income could not live. But I'm not going to bitch about that. We're here looking for happy Bigfoots. Or unhappy Bigfoots. I told them to throw sticks or stones at me. Try to scare me, do whatever you want to do. All I want is proof. I only need proof once. I won't have to do this anymore. Walk around in the freezing cold talking to myself. What the heck? Okay, before I come off of this thing, I'm going to go over here because this PVC pipe was wet and muddy. Let's see if I can find any prints on it. Fingers are cramping up from holding the phone. I'm trying to hold the phone and the light. This big heavy thing. I love this thing, but it's heavy. It's the only lights I had. This is the little one until I replace the ones I sent D. Oof! There we go. That's down. Let's see if anything is different in the back of the house. This is the fence because my dogs are small. They're Shih Tzu Yorkies. One's 4 pounds and 2 of them are 15 pounds. And they have a doggy door back here, which something ripped that doggy door off once. I have a video of that up there too. But they can come out here and go potty all they want to. I also have the white cat that I found out in the woods where I just was, or it found me. Still lives here, still an outside cat, comes out the doggy door, jumps over the fence and does whatever it wants to do all day. But sleeps with me at nighttime now. I don't see anything different. I don't see anything extra around. But that is just freaky. What the hell did they do that for? Just to freak me out. I would have been freaked out if those were logs. But the fact that they stuck my stuff against the house just bewilders me 10 times more. And that's a rounded bottom. And it's barely on the lip of that. I'll stick up against it. Like, haha, we were at the house. You weren't here and we came by to say hi. We knocked on the door, nobody was here, so we left a calling card. I don't know. I did this before, but my fingers just forced me to drop you again. I dropped you again. Oh, my fingers hurt. Okay. Now, but anyway, I was going to show you that I just kicked my box there. But I did this before and it shined the light up at an angle at the window. Now this bottom window has a screen in it, but the top window, I shined it up at an angle to see if I could see any handprints, and there were none. The bottom one has a screen on the outside. The top one does not have any hand or face prints in it. All right, so I'm just gonna look up this real quick. Maybe zoom this out. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Right above that leaf. Let me get my other hand here. Right above that leaf right there is a smudge. You see that smudge right there? That could have been picking it up. Right there, it looks like a palm print. I don't know if I can get the phone to actually see it in any way. But you see the palm print and the edge of the smudge where the fingers would, oh, yeah. See the palm print on this side where everything is all white and the mud is smudged off, and then it's kind of pushed around this way, like smudged up this way. On this side of that, looks like the fingertips where they carried it. See that? Oop, there we go. See that? Where the fingertips smudged it? And then, you know, PVC pipe's not very heavy, but it looked to me, looked to me like they had one hand right there, right here, and smudged it with their fingertips. And there's 3 giant finger marks right there. You see that? Frickin' things are... Trying to understand. Let me hold my... Let me see, can you tell? Yeah, you can still see it. Right there, this one is smeared in the direction of letting it go, like that. They're not smeared up and down. So if those things are as wide as an actual finger, then that's 2 of my fingers. And I'm a 60-year-old, 6-foot-tall man. If those 3 finger marks right there that looks like 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, right there, those fingers are at least as wide as my 2 fingers. That looks like it, if that was a pinky, if the bottom one of the 3 was a pinky, middle finger, or ring finger, and then middle finger up there, that middle finger is almost as wide as 3 of my fingers. Now let me check and see if I can see any kind of anything on this. Other than falling on my face. I don't see any handprints on the kayak whatsoever. Or smudges. The bottom of the inside of the kayak was in the grass. You can see the junk there. But the top of the kayak, I'm not sure exactly how it got a hold of the thing, but I can't see anything that looks like a handprint on the kayak. And the only good telling thing there is, that looks like a palm print and smudgy fingers. There's just smudgy fingers right there. And then 3 swiped finger marks. And if those things weren't smudged sideways, then the fingers were humongous. I almost fell on my stupid thing again. All right. So 3 people. I had a maximum of 4, which is the most I've ever had here. I think was 5 at any one time. But I have 3 likes, 3 people. So at least I wasn't talking to myself this whole time. Lisa and Gordon, thank you very much for coming. I don't understand what that means, if it means anything other than I was here. Like, putting Kilroy was here. Like, haha, we were here and you weren't. I don't know. They didn't do anything else, and when I walked out in the woods, they didn't do anything to let me know they were here. So, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'm going to go in and get warm. Maybe do a shot of brandy, and re-watch this video to see if I can see something that I didn't see with my eyes. So have a good night. Bye-bye.